Live Friday, where we get to answer all of your questions. However, today is going to be a little bit different. Sam and I think we've been speaking about this quite a lot because there are a lot of new VAs coming on, into the industry. There's people who have lost their jobs. There's people who are now, needing to do something from home, and a virtual assistant seems like a really good idea. And for lots of people, it is a good idea. And so what we're starting to see now is lots of people wanting and needing to try and find that very first client. So we wanted to make today's topic all about the reason why you haven't found your first client yet. And there is a lot of conflicting advice out there, isn't there, Sam?
Oh, there is. And look, we're aware that, a lot of people are out there and they're saying, this is the way you have to do it. And, Joe and I, we've got a way that we think is the best way to do it as well. So there is a lot of conflicting information, and what works for one person isn't necessarily going to work for another. We understand that as well. But the interesting thing about the techniques that Joe and I teach are that we haven't known each other forever. We didn't know each other when we were first starting out our respective VA businesses. And when we did kind of connect, we realized really, really quickly that we both started out exactly the same way. Our journeys were so similar. Our outcomes were different in terms of Joe has a really successful VA agency. I decided to stick with the freelance route. I was really happy with that. But in terms of how we started out and getting those first clients, it just so happens that we did it exactly the same way. So when people come to us and they ask, how do I get that first client? I just really need it. I need to be earning money. I just need the first couple under our belt. We give them the same advice over and over again. And it's proven. It's proven to work.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think people are wanting us to tell them something that is easier and quicker. And so they sort of dismiss it, and they're like, oh, no, but, I want to create my website, and I want to post on social media and get all my accounts and do all of this stuff and spend all of this time doing these beautiful, amazing things. But they're not realizing or refusing, and we're going to get a little bit ranty on this, I can tell, aren't we? But refusing to realize that creating a website, posting on social media, that is not going to get you your first few clients. And there's a fundamental reason why. Okay, creating a website, let's start with that one first. If you spend hours and hours and hours and hours creating a website, you are not going to have any chance of ranking number one on Google or even on the first page for quite some time. That's something that you build over time. You work on your SEO and you bring your website, as you work on it, and as you put in content, as you put in videos and blog posts, etc., you then start to creep up closer to the first page, and then onto the first page, and then potentially number one. So that has taken me, I think it took me maybe a year or so before we started to go onto page one, and there was a lot less virtual assistants around, and I really focused on building a website down the track. And then, it takes a long time to even get in that number top 1 and 2, and it's really competitive, and it takes a lot of time and effort. Now, there was no way that I was going to do that or try that right from the start. And nor should you. And I'm sure that wasn't your focus either, Sam. Well, we've talked about this. It wasn't our focus at all. But we knew we'd do that later. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a complete afterthought. I had half a dozen at least clients that I'd already been working with for weeks, if not months. And then it was like, oh, well, okay. I've done the hard bit, because the hardest bit is finding clients. Now, what am I going to do with this little bit of spare time that I've got in the evenings? And so putting together my website, there was no pressure, there was no deadline. My business was already launched. I already had clients. So this was fun. So if building my website took 2, 3, 4 months, then that was okay, because it wasn't holding off what I really needed to, or holding me back from what I really need to be working on, which is finding clients. 100%. You know, we refer to kind of like the marketing side of things, the building the website, the having, you know, posting on social media, getting into Facebook ads, even if that's your thing. You know, we kind of describe that as the sexy part of being your own boss, don't we? It's the exciting bit. It's the bit that you can really get your teeth into. It's fun. It's cool. Everyone wants to have a really cool online presence. But all it's going to do, especially if you're a perfectionist, if you've got it in your head that, right, I need to get my website on there and I need to have 100 likes or followers on my social media accounts before I launch my business, you're never going to launch your business. All it's going to do is hold you back.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just going to delay and delay and delay your launch date. And yeah, it's the wrong way around. And over in the Savvy School, it's the process that we teach is creating a website. Remind me, Sam, it's in like stage 4 or 5, maybe 5. I think it's in stage 5.
It's in the growth. It's in the growth stage.
It's in the growth. It's after launch. It's after building your brand. It's after, you know, getting your first client. That I guarantee that if you haven't found your first client yet, I bet you have a social media page, you've been doing posts, and you've started your website or have a website. Like, you've done it the wrong way around. And now it's time to just focus on what really does get you your first client. So the way that Sam and I first got our clients, or got our first clients, is exactly the same way, slightly different avenue, but it's the same concept. And it was all about, and you honestly, if you haven't found your first client, you're going to hate us saying this, because this takes time. And it's a long-term strategy, but you've got to do it to be able to bring on those first few clients quicker than you can by just building your online presence. And the way to do it is building relationships with people, real, genuine, authentic relationships. And like we say it all the time, people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And this is especially true for virtual assistants. Put yourself into your prospective clients' shoes, and they are about to open up their business, open up their lives, passwords, access to things, all sorts, finances sometimes, so all sorts of things that they're going to be feeling like they're in a very vulnerable position. And the only way that they're going to do that is if they actually trust the virtual assistant that they've hired. So you need to be building those relationships. And this is about direct contact. This is not about putting up a social media post or posting your sales pitch in a Facebook group. This is about building relationships with people in Facebook groups, like genuine, getting to know them, offering advice, showing them how to do things, teaching them, providing all sorts of value, and helping them without expecting anything else in return. And it takes time, and it's not a quick way to find clients. It's a long-term strategy, and you just have to be committed. If you're going to be a successful VA, you have to be committed to building those relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, there is no fast track, magic potion, magic wand that is going to get you that first client. And that's the thing. Once you've got your first couple of clients, the rest then happens a lot easier. It's a lot more natural. You get a lot more referrals, and word of mouth is a huge thing. But yeah, it's about building those relationships, and you can't speed that along. Like, there's nothing worse than somebody, you know, having an initial conversation with somebody, whether it's online or in person, and then the next thing you know, ping, there's something in your inbox, and it's not just a hi, just reaching out to connect. It's a big old sales pitch. Can I help you? This is what I can do. It's so off-putting. So it's about building those genuine relationships, and as Jo said, with no sales pitch, asking nothing in return to start with. It's just building relationships, and then they know that you're there when they need them.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that I did it was before lockdown, obviously. So I've had my VA business for 8 years, and when we first started, all we did was go to networking events, meet as many people as possible, get into those business owner circles, and we really got to know people. And now, because we're so well known in that small business industry, then we're just the go-to company that they call. We've done the hard work, and now it just pays off because we get the leads in organically, we get them through our website, etc., because we've already built the relationships and we've spent time over time. So going through our online presence and improving things and doing all the other marketing strategies and Facebook's ads and stuff. But that did not happen in the first few years. Like, all it was about is going and meeting as many people as possible and building relationships. And yeah, it took time. And now I don't have to do that anymore because I have someone who does that for me. And we do a lot less of it than we had to in the beginning. So it's a long-term strategy. And if you're committed to doing this and having your lifestyle and your business from home and being able to work around kids, like, it is about a long-term strategy. And this is the work that you need to put in. And it's the hard stuff, especially if you're an introvert. It feels hard to actually reach out to people and build a genuine relationship, but you've got to do it. And if you're committed to being a business owner and you're going to be the one that actually brings in the sales, like, this is the work that you have to do. There's no shortcuts. No one's going to do it for you unless you contract to another virtual assistant company, which can be a viable option for some people. But if you're committed to doing this on your own and as a business owner, then you've got to put in the work. So if you're sitting there listening to this and you're like, yep, I don't have any clients, take a look at what you are spending your time on. If you are doing anything that is social media posting, website creation, creating graphics, like, you need to stop doing all of that and you need to start building relationships and getting to know people.
Yeah, it may not be exciting. It may not be exciting. It may not be sexy, but that is it. It's really simple.
Yeah. And even if you can't go to in-person networking events now, or like, you've got kids or other commitments that prevent that, find some online meetup or networking or entrepreneurial groups, or there's lots of online networking groups now that you can do the same thing in, and find the groups to hang out in. Now, the group like this, the Savvy Virtual Assistant group, this is not the place to find clients. Yes, there are often people who are posting up job opportunities. However, this is not where you come in and you pitch your services, because this is a whole bunch of virtual assistants, so they don't need your services. So go and find where your target audience actually is and join those groups, and talk to people in there. But please don't pitch. Please don't do a sales pitch as the first interaction that you do with someone. Please don't connect with people on LinkedIn and immediately pitch your services and ask if they need a VA. Like, that is not the way to do it. Just build a genuine relationship. Stop with all the, I just came across your profile and I thought that we should connect because we have some synergies. No, stop all of that crap. It's terrible. Just genuinely build a relationship, like you actually care about that person and want to listen to them. And please, another one that I'm sick of seeing, someone comes onto LinkedIn, I'm really getting going now, can't you tell?
Wow.
Oh, it's so frustrating because I'm like, this is not the way to find clients. Another one that people do is they come in, they send you a message on LinkedIn and they say, just tell me about yourself. I'd love to hear more about your business. I'm like, I am not spending my time telling you about my business. No, never, not going to happen, not doing it. Please stop asking people to do that. That's also a terrible marketing strategy. Yeah.
Breathe, Jo, breathe.
Please. Build relationships with people. You know why I feel really passionate about it? Because I actually really want all the virtual assistants to succeed and I want them to find clients, and I can just see the exact things that they are doing wrong and the reasons why, and I just think you're wasting time and money, and I I know the answer. I know what you should be doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, people, and I know it's confusing. People tell you different things. There's lots of VA coaches out there. When you're looking to see who you're going to spend money with, who you're going to get advice from, my advice is that when you look at that person, if you could imagine and you would like to swap shoes and be where they are, that's the person that you need to get advice from. Like, they are doing what you want to do. They have done what you want to do. They have gone through the experiences and everything, so that they're now at this position that you would want to switch places with. And if you do want to do that, that is the kind of person that you actually want to get advice from. Because yeah, people are throwing advice all over the place, and we can see it everywhere online. And yeah, it's just heartbreaking when I know that people, like, someone's first starting out, should not be doing Facebook ads. And I know that everyone's like, oh, everyone should be doing Facebook ads. It's for every single business. Yeah, well, no, I actually don't think it is. It's not for virtual assistants unless you're established and you're doing like some sort of specialty service where you're like really niche down. That would be the time to do a Facebook ad. But yeah, it's not the way to get clients. Like, but honestly, this is such a trusting relationship between a client and a VA. Like, you've got to build the trust. You can't just have someone instantly sign up with you and be like, yeah, here's all my credit card details. Can you buy all these things and do all these things? And here's my, access to my bank account so you can pay my bills. Like, that's not going to happen unless they trust you. And that's not going to happen from a Facebook ad. So take a look at what services you are actually selling. And does that make sense for you? I doubt it, and you should be doing you should be doing building relationships. You can use Facebook to do that, but yeah, build the relationships. Absolutely.
Yeah, gosh, rant over. But yeah, it's only because we're really passionate. As you said, it's only because we are so passionate, and we want you guys to do really well. That's why we do what we do. Like, we love to hear all the success stories and hear it. Yeah, I got my first client. Yeah, I got my second client. It's honestly the best feeling in the world. So it comes from a place of just really wanting you to do well. So please listen to us when we say it comes down to building relationships, genuine relationships. And you can't do that overnight. And by concentrating on all the really cool website, Facebook ad stuff, all it's going to do is going to hold you back from spending the time on the networking that you should be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so someone has commented that your Savvy School is amazing. Thank you. Yeah, we love the Savvy School and putting everything together and like just helping people know exactly what stage they're at, what exact next steps they need to take, and just having that mentorship from Sam and I. So over in the Members Club, I think this week it was, wasn't it, that we've been reviewing websites for people. We've been giving advice and thoughts on people putting together their packages, proofreading things, and like just, yeah, people in the Members Club, part of it, which is so valuable, which is actually why we're about to put the price up. People have the opportunity to provide us something and say, hey, what do you think of this? And we can, on email and direct message, give you advice and help specifically on what you have created or what you're doing or what your thoughts are, or rates and packages, etc. So yeah, it's super valuable. And yeah, we love our little growing membership that we've got. And yeah, it's exciting. And as Sam says, like, we do this because we actually love hearing, yay, I've got my first client, or yeah, I've got 2 leads in today. And just that momentum and just being around people that are successful and that you want to aspire to be like that is what the Members Club is all about, because that builds momentum, the law of attraction. Just what's the saying, that if you're the average of the five people that you spend the most time with, something like that. So get into somewhere where there are people that you'd want to switch places with. Like, absolutely. All right. That is our little rant Well, mostly my rant. I don't think you ranted at all.
For listening to our little rant, and hopefully our little rant was helpful and resonated with a few of you. Maybe it just made something click inside of your heads there. So hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll pop a link down to the Savvy School so you can check it out. But otherwise, we will see everyone next Friday. Feel free to post your questions on our Ask Me Wednesday or Ask Me Tuesday, whichever day it goes up. Feel free to ask any questions you like, because we can directly answer those on these live Friday sessions. And have a great weekend, everyone, and we will see you again soon.
Bye, everyone.